Hi everyone, I'm Hannah and welcome back to another monthly knitting recap. This is a video series where I talk about everything I've been working on over a month, mostly knitting, sometimes spinning or other hobbies. For these I follow a traditional knitting podcast format, so first starting with finished objects, what I finished this month, then I'll walk through my works in progress, so what I'm currently working on, any new acquisitions, new things that have come into my stash, and then this month too I'm gonna have a bit of spinning to talk about. So yeah, let's just jump right in. Oh, and before we jump in, I want to talk about what I'm wearing today. This is the Olga sweater pattern by Petite Knit. I knit this last fall 2024, and I made mine in Malabrigo Rios. This are the colorways. The darker blue is Cosmos and the lighter blue is Bobby Blue. My gauge was off on this one, so I made like an extra small on it. Measures to be like a medium just because I think this yarn is thicker than recommended, but it totally worked out. And yeah, great sweater. For me, the month of February was a little bit slower with knitting. About halfway through the month, I was experiencing some wrist pain, which I've had here and there, but not as persistent as this was. So I really had to like actually take a break from knitting and let it rest for, I don't know, a week or so maybe, which was tough and not something I wanted to do, but I knew I just like needed to properly rest it. So yeah, that kind of cut into my knitting time this month. I didn't get quite as much done as I thought I might, but that's totally fine. In some of that downtime from knitting though, I was able to spin. Spinning wasn't really bothering my wrist as much, so yeah, I'll talk about all the spinning stuff at the end in case you're just here for the knitting content. But yeah, I do have 1.5 finished objects. The first finished object is this black musselburgh hat. This is something I had started in January for my boyfriend's birthday. He has a mid-February birthday and this is what he had requested, a black beanie. So this pattern is one where you make this very long tube and just close it up both sides and then fold it in on itself, and it makes this beanie. So you can wear it like this without the brim, or you can fold it up and wear it, you know, something like that. I don't know, I can try it on to show you, but I feel like he has a smaller head than me. I have a big head, but you get the gist of it. I feel like it's like a little tight on me, but anyways. This I made with Cascade Heritage, which is a fingering weight superwash wool, and I just did that because it's easy to wash, and from my experiences worn well in past projects. You can do a range of yarn weights for this. So fingering weight yarn that I held double just to make it go a little quicker. The only like modification I made is, I talked about this in my last video, since it is like this tube, it basically recommends that you start at one end and you know, increase cast on, or yeah, you start on one end, increase, and then get to your desired circumference and then knit, and then at the end you do your decreases. I was having a tough time with the tiny circumference knitting, is not my favorite, so I ended up just doing a provisional cast on. I started somewhere in the middle here. Yeah, I worked a little bit, did the decreases, and then picked back up and worked the other direction. And that worked well for me. So yeah, I think this is a great pattern. Very versatile. Like I said, you can use all sorts of yarn weights. It's also great if you wanted to use up scrap yarn, or just like get rid of yarn that you don't want to like you want to use but not to necessarily see, because you could just like put it on the inside of the hat. There's people who have done it where they have like color blocked it in ways so that like when you fold it up it's a different color here, or like you could wear it inside out and then it would be a different color. So lots of options with this. Definitely a pattern I would knit again, and yeah, happy with how this one turned out. My next finished kind of sort of object, I'm like not sure what to put this in every month because basically I'm working on the Stella quilt blanket by Laura Penrose this year, and I'm making one of these squares every month. So it's like I'm technically finishing one of these every month, but it's not gonna be completely finished until the whole blanket's finished. So finished object slash work in progress. But this is my February square. So yeah, lots of orange and a little bit of red, a little bit of peach tones in here. I think this one has, yeah, 4 different colors in it, which is fun. My last one had 3. Yeah, this one was fun to work. I liked having more color variety. I do still need to weave in ends, which I'm trying to do as I go and not like let that sit till the end, because doing that on 12 of these is a lot. So this is Cascade Heritage, also in the colorway Macadamia is my main color, and then most of these contrast colors are from my Fangirl Fiber December 2024 advent calendar. So it's mostly tonal color, like mini skeins that I had. They're 25 grams, and so I'm basically making these color blocks roughly all the same color, and then like kind of moving through the rainbow throughout the year. Yeah, next time I'll move into a little bit more orange with some peachy, and then kind of getting more into pink. I don't know, I'm not 100% sure I'm gonna keep it up every month, because I don't want, that's like my goal, is to make one a month so that I have 12 by the end of the year, which is how many I want to make the blanket. But I'm also like trying to not make that a hard and fast rule, because I don't know, even after doing this for 2 months, it feels like this takes up a lot of my knitting time. Like, I mean, I still have time to work on other things and whatnot, but it does like feel like a significant amount of time. And maybe this is just me needing to be better with longer term projects. It's like, okay, I finished another one and I like can't do anything with it for, you know, 10 months from now or whatever, until it's all the way finished and like actually have a blanket. So yeah, I'll see how this like month by month plan goes, but yeah, and March and April are gonna get pretty busy knitting wise for me, which I'll talk more about later, but yeah, I'll be curious to see how this blanket comes to be eventually. All right, now moving on to like actual full works in progress. This first one is like 95 or more % complete. This is my Sonja sweater by Petite Knit. So let's get this unfolded here. Last month I think I was somewhere on the body, so I did the collar this month, which I just did exactly to instruction. Finished the body. I think I made it a little bit more cropped than recommended, but I usually do that just because I'm on the shorter side. And then this sleeve is almost done. I just have to do the bind off. It's all the way done, finished knitting. I just, yeah, need to get it off the needles. And then this one is pretty much, I have a couple more rounds of stock in it, and then the ribbing, and that'll be done. So honestly, I could probably finish this like today or tomorrow. Yeah, the reason I did the sleeves like that is I was playing a little bit of yarn chicken, almost running out of yarn. So this is 2 yarns held together. This is Malabrigo Rios in the color Matisse Blue, and then Lang Yarn Super Light Alpaca, which is now since discontinued yarn, in the colorway 6. So I'm good on the Alpaca Super Light, the like fluffier yarn, but my Malabrigo Rios, I was like questioning whether or not I'd have enough. So yeah, that's why I did the sleeves. Like I like did 90% of the sleeves on both of them to make sure how long exactly I can make them, but it's actually not a problem. I have plenty of yarn to finish this. I'm really loving this color. This yarn, the Malabrigo Rios, I had used in a previous sweater, a cardigan that I frogged. And so this is the second time using the yarn. I'm curious to see how much it really like blocks out again, like being blocked a second time after already being blocked. I am liking the fit of it when I'm trying it on, but I do think it could just be like a little bit looser, longer, nothing significant, but hoping that once it's finished and I wash and block it, that it'll grow a little bit. And yeah, I'm just excited to have this. I feel like this is like, will be such a good staple. It's like, I can't tell, it might be a little warm, like it's definitely a hefty feeling sweater, not like, you know, super winter outerwear vibes, but definitely like a decent sweater. Hopefully I'll get some wear, you know, this end of winter into spring, and then yeah, I think it'll just be a good basic staple. I'm really liking this pattern. Yeah, overall would recommend this pattern, would recommend the yarn too, but the yarn combination, but sadly the Lane Cloud Super Light is no longer being made. But I do really like if you are mohair sensitive, which I'm not. I do have some mohair sweaters, but I don't know, sometimes I'm not always wanting to add mohair. Looking for like a lace weight alpaca. That's what this yarn is, and I'm really liking it, and yeah, like the feel of it a lot too. So, and I feel like it gives kind of that same fuzzy effect. All right, next, another blue project. This is the lei bandana pattern. I am over halfway. So this is a pattern where you start at one end, knit until the center point, and then you decrease from there. So if you can see, it's kind of rolling at the edges. Where is my, here it is. So that is basically the center point. So I've gotten that much further from there. So it's growing quite a bit. This construction is great for if you just have like a single skein of something, because you can weigh your yarn, and like this was like 105 grams, I think. I went until I had 55 grams left just to like give myself a little wiggle room, and then I started, then I switched, that was like my halfway point. So now I'm gonna like completely finish this basically. And this yarn is one I got, okay, it's simply not focusing. But this is yarn I got for free, actually, basically last, yeah, I think it was last year. Someone who had passed away, their husband, basically wanted to give away her yarn stash. She was like a lifelong knitter, and so there was like a library that hosted, and it was just like buckets and buckets of all of her yarn for free, which was just wild. And she had very good taste. So this is 100% cashmere, which is awesome. Not something I would buy for myself at this point, so happy to try it out. And it is from, the brand is Plucky Knitter, and I can't find this yarn on their website, so I don't know like how old it is, but it's like a DK weight 100% cashmere. I think I might have found it on Ravelry, like in people's stashes, but I don't think they sell it anymore. Anyways, it has been just a dream to work with 100% cashmere. This is going to be like the perfect like neck accessory, just like close to the skin. It's so soft. And definitely making me want to work with cashmere more, even though it's very expensive. Yeah, it's been great. This is a great pattern. Pretty simple, but just interesting enough with the increases and decreases. And it has a built-in I-cord edge as well, so it's like a little something at the beginning and end of every row. And yeah, hope to have this done soon. I feel like this will be a great spring accessory. All right, my last work in progress, which I really should put a progress marker on these because I don't really even remember if I knit on these or barely at all this month. These are my French Connection sock pattern by Summer Lee Knits from her sock project book. Basically just following the pattern. The only thing I'm doing differently is trying out a different heel. So I'm going to be doing an afterthought heel I haven't marked off here, instead of the heel flap and gusset recommended in the pattern. And yeah, not really much to say on this. I maybe knit an inch or two this month. I think with my wrist hurting I didn't want to do a lot of small circumference knitting, so, or like, you know, working with tiny needles, so I did not make much progress, but that's fine. I'm still really liking how they look though. And this I am using Cascade Heritage again, and this is Issachar sock yarn. My camera is just not wanting to focus on yarn today, but here they are. This month I only have one acquisition or like new yarn added to my stash. A few videos back I talked about how I wanted to make the Daydreamer cardigan by Kika. And I had ordered yarn for this. It was Sandus garn, like brushed alpaca. I forget, I'll put it on the screen. But anyways, I'd ordered it back in December and it was on back order, and like that was fine. It said like 3 to 4 weeks till it ships or something. It's like all good, I can wait. But then it was like February and I still hadn't heard. It had been like 6 or 7 weeks. So I reached out. I'd ordered it from Wool & Company, and they had reached out to Sandus Garn, and they basically said this is like very popular yarn colorway and they don't really have an estimate for when it'll be ready. And so if I wanted to like get, you know, cancel or do an exchange or something, I totally could. So I don't know. As you can see, I've been working on a lot of blue projects. So I said maybe I should mix it up and not make this cardigan blue anymore. This cardigan for me is very much inspired by the Emile cardigan from Cezanne, which is something I've wanted for a while, but just, you know, I can make it myself. I don't need to spend all the money on it. So when I decided not to do blue, I was looking at their colorways to see if like anything jumped out at me. And I really like this like rusty orange reddish color that they have. Remembered I had this in my stash, which is the Queensland Collection Falkland Worsted. It is a merino worsted yarn. This is the colorway 14, which looked pretty dang close. So I said I could just get this, or just use this for the cardigan and then just buy a mohair. So I ended up returning or canceling that Sandus Garn yarn that never shipped, and I instead got Knitting for Olive soft silk mohair in the color pomegranate. So this is like a little bit more red tone, but still like in that rust color compared to this. But I do like how they knit up together. I've just made a swatch so far. So here is my swatch. Let's see if it'll focus. So yeah, this is in half fisherman's rib, this cardigan. And I feel like the mohair just gives it the right amount of fluff, but there's still pretty good stitch definition in it. And I'm pretty close to gauge, a little bit off, but I think I can make it work. Not exactly sure when I'll cast it on, but happy to have made the swatch and like actually figure out the yarn for this sweater I've been wanting to make for a very long time. All right, that's all of my knitting updates. I do have a lot of spinning and some other fun things to talk about. This February I started taking a class at a farm fiber school, a couple month-long class at a mostly sheep farm, but they also have goats and alpaca and Angora bunnies. Basically their main focus is around fiber, which is super cool. And they offer this class where you go from sheep shearing all the way to making a garment. So you do the whole process of selecting a fleece, learning how to properly wash it, how to process your wool so it's ready to be spun, spinning it, and then knitting it or weaving it into a garment. So this started February and will go through May. And yeah, it's been a lot of fun. I'm going to like make a whole video on the whole process because there's a lot and I've been taking footage and documenting so far, but I bring this up because I was pretty new at spinning coming into this class. I just got in my e-spinner recently. I'd done a little bit of drop spindle before that. So I've really been needing to practice spinning because I am like very ambitiously thinking of making a sweater for this class. They kind of recommend like a hat or a scarf or like something a little bit more simple, but I'm feeling at least decently confident for now that I can make a sweater. I'm gonna have a backup plan, but yeah, as I'm filming this, it's March and I'll have about 2 months starting from about now to spin and knit a sweater. So we'll see how all that goes. But yeah, for now I'll insert a picture of my fleece. So I got about 8 pounds of this fiber and it's all wash. I've practiced prepping it like with hand carders and a drum carder, and also just straight from the fleece. So yeah, I'm still like in the sampling phase to figure out exactly how I want to process it for the sweater. But anyways, I'll again get way more into detail in a separate video about this. But because of all of this, I have been spinning a lot because I want to practice and make sure I am like as ready as I can be for spinning this fleece when it comes time. So I have been very busy spinning. My camera shut off, so hopefully I'm not exactly sure where that cut off, but I'll start back again with my spinning. So this is the first thing I spun up this month. This is 100% wool, local wool I got from a fiber market in my area not too long ago. And yeah, I think it was like 4 ounces of ribbing. I don't exactly remember, but yeah, this was definitely a great learning process. You can like see looking at it, like how much more consistent it got by the end of it. Yeah, I'm not exactly sure how I'll use it yet, but it was great practice. Next, I had these 2 little baby samples, which are just random wool they gave us at fiber school to practice on. And I just was trying out different methods. So I think for my sweater for class, I want to knit woolen, which is long draw, just a different, if you're unfamiliar, just a different way of spinning your fiber, so it's a little bit like more fluffier and has a little bit more air in the fiber. And so that I had to learn and I've been practicing, so that was some of that. I've also been trying out like different plying. So this is a 2-ply, this one I tried chain ply. So yeah, basically just doing a lot of experiments and trying things out and learning a lot. This is another spin. As you can see, I've been doing a lot of spinning. This was 2 braids of Malabrigo New, which is a fiber that Malabrigo makes that is 100% merino. It is not the best to spin with. Love Malabrigo, but the fiber, which I was having a tough time with and looked it up on Reddit, and everyone was like, it almost feels felted. It feels like you're like ripping the fiber almost when you're spinning it. So definitely wasn't the easiest spin, but I do think I still learned a lot, and these colors are just so pretty. This is around 200 yards. So I don't know. Let me know if you have a project idea for this, because I'm not sure how to use it. Maybe a bandana or a scarf or a hat. I don't know. But yeah, I think even though it was a tough fiber to spin, it was good practice again. And the last one I have to show you is actually from my sheep from fiber school. So this is my very first sample I made. This is just teasing the wool straight from the cleaned fleece. And I made a 2-ply. I didn't make too much, so I just have a little bit of it left here. Yeah, 2-ply woolen spun from teased fleece. My fleece, as you can see, has like some color variation. It has like lighter tips in it. So I'm kind of leaning towards doing this method for the sweater because I like that the colors stay separate, and it almost looks, I don't know how well you'll be able to see, but it almost looks like speckled or something. I'll maybe put a picture in or something because this camera's not cooperating today. But yeah, I like how like fluffy, it almost looks like boucle-ish, like there's not great stitch definition, but I kind of like the look of it. So yeah, I still have some more spinning to do with those other fiber samples, so TBD on exactly how I make this sweater, but I will keep you updated. And yeah, just very excited to finally be spinning and, you know, taking the next steps with the fleece. I think that covers it. Yeah, like I said, a little bit of a lighter knitting month for me this February, but definitely lots of spinning progress, which I'm really excited about, and lots to come with this fiber school class. I think that's it for today. Thank you if you've made it this far. Make sure you're subscribed if you are not already. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day or night, and I will see you next time. Bye.